decided to get on this morning because the last live I did was November 11th, and on that live I said I was gonna keep checking in or keep posting weekly, and I haven't. And at that time I had I don't know, when I did the last live, I was reading off a paper, and I needed everything to be right, and I was really nervous. I said what I needed to say, but I don't know, I guess it was just so scripted and needed to be so right. And the intention behind it was to keep pushing myself to say, like, I had just been fired in August. I lost my best friend prior to that in March. And I'm not coming on here as a victim. I'm coming here as a survivor. And my goal of this video is to show people or allow someone in a space where I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I'm destined to be. I'm not where I'm gonna be. So I guess it's just like bringing you from my lowest, and then allowing you to see wherever God's gonna bring me from here. But I've seen something that says you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. So I've been, thinking about I'm not being consistent with my program stuck, and I'm not doing the things that I should do. I could be doing more, and I started feeling like maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe it's I need to just leave it alone. But from the beginning, when I started this program, I couldn't just leave it alone. So today's Thankful Thursday. I usually make a post about gratitude and just being thankful, and I figured why not make a video today? So I like to just say that I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to God for Him putting people in my life that have pushed me forward, that have continued to give me information and make it easier for me. I'm thankful to my mom, who has struggled and has taught me how to not give up. I'm thankful for my family members, the ones I speak to and the ones that I don't. All my experiences have been lessons. I'm thankful for my children. I had children at an early age, and I just wasn't expected to make it. I was the hard-headed one. I was running away, doing all kind of things that, but no matter what, I've always known that there was something great destined for me. I don't rap or dance or I don't know. I've always just been genuine. I've always shared my feelings. I've always been available to help people. I've always been honest about where I am in life. I never try to sugarcoat myself or, my situations. A lot of people come and share with me their hardships, and I keep it with myself. I don't share people's business or, look down on people. Obviously, I've done some things that I'm not proud of. I've hurt some people. I've said some things that weren't okay. But for the most part, I've always been the type of person who wants to see somebody else succeed. And I'm a survivor. I survived a lot. I survived a lot of oppressive systems. I survived a lot of hardships. I survived a lot. But all my jobs have always been in direct care. I worked at shelters. I worked at hospitals. I worked in substance abuse programs. Just helping the underserved. And I figured that this video is going to help somebody. My program is going to help somebody. Because I hate saying I'm just thinking, and off the top of my head, I have so many things that I want to get out. But as I was saying, I want to see people succeed, and a lot of people show their successes, but not what it's like. Like, where did it come from? What did you do during your hardship? How did you get it out the mud? What made you keep going? So for me, what keeps me going is believing that there's something better, no matter how low things are or how hard things are for me. I always believe like it could be different tomorrow. Tomorrow could change everything. And that's how God works. That's how He worked in my life. I'm talking about at the very last day of things, He just comes through. So I don't know how or what He's going to do to change my situation, but I know my situation is going to change. And my situation is that I'm going to be homeless again. And that's hard to say. And I don't mean homeless on the street or, but I'm losing my apartment. I've been here for 3 years. And this is not the first time that I've lost my apartment. And I didn't want to wait until my situation changed and then tell the story, because it seems like every time I'm, keeping track or recording what my process has been, so that when I do make it, I can share it with somebody, how I continue to overcome these obstacles. This time I felt like it was necessary for me to share it now, and then allow someone to see the before and the after while I'm in it and going through it. Because you just don't know I don't know, there's been so much loss that I really don't know um, what's gonna happen. So yeah, I've been here for 3 years. I lost in 2011 or 12. I lost my voucher, and I fought to get it back. I had all kind of hearings and people showing up for me for the hearings, and Boston Housing said they was gonna give me a 2-bedroom for just me and my daughter. I tried to take my sons off of my lease, and once they found out that I had given my 30-day notice, they retracted the voucher to 2-bedroom. And I went to court. I went to the housing hearings, and my mom went with me. People from different organizations came with me. I don't have a record. I don't have any reason why they would not allow me to keep the voucher, but their reasoning was that they believed that I would allow my sons to still come stay at my house. So I don't even know why they issued me the 2-bedroom voucher, but they did. They issued it and then they retracted it. So, and then after that, I stayed at family's house. If you've seen me speak publicly, I shared that I was sexually assaulted by my cousin. So there was a lot that had happened, and I still just kept going. Like, I remember feeling back then like just so angry and like, why me? Why does these things continue to happen to me? Why do I have all these setbacks? And I ended up in another shelter, and I stayed in that shelter for a while, and I ended up working there, and I ended up in a transitional living program, and I just worked my way up. I had a job. I got I had 2 jobs, and then I got into the situation where I felt I was discriminated against, being retaliated against, and I felt like just when I got my apartment, this apartment that things weren't okay, and that job allowed me to have this apartment. My rent is a lot, and not only was I paying rent, I was paying lights and gas and water like like a house. And I never really wanted to just be in a house and not be financially stable, because I know how fast things can change. And things change fast, you know. Um, things change fast. As soon as I got the apartment, like the same month, my son's dad was murdered. My son was in jail. And I'm just saying that to say, like, good things happen and then bad things come right behind it. And I still have to stay focused. Like, I still have to keep going. And then, that in itself was a struggle. the things that occurred at my job were just they were sad, but at the same time I was learning so much. You know, I was learning, like I said in my last video, that these things are part of a system that's designed to, you know, hold us back. And no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, as a black person, you're still part of the, you know, you're still part of the system. Yeah, then my you know, my partner died, and then I was fired. And you know, I'm still trusting in God. I'm just like, there has to be something. Like, what, how do all these things continue to happen? I knew I was not going to be able to stay here without the job. I knew that before I started speaking up about the things that I felt I was experiencing at the job, when I could have just, you know, I could have just shut up, and I probably would still have my job. But because of the work that I do, because of the person that I am, because of the parents that I have, because of, you know, because of who I am, I couldn't just be quiet. And if I had to do it again, I would do it again. I would do it again. All of my stuff is in storage. I moved all the majority of my stuff out. You know, I have a place to stay. It's not my own place, but I'm gonna be all right. Like I said, I'm not coming here as a victim. I'm not afraid of what's gonna happen next for me. Does it hurt? Yeah. I'm not afraid. I can only go up from here. And yeah, so I was fired. I was going back and forth with court proceedings. I thank God for my mentor and coach, Wanda Swan. She's, for the last 2 years, I believe, almost 2 years now, she's just been pouring into me. And I do a lot of pouring into others, you know, like I said, people share their hardships with me. And I tell them, like, it's going to be okay. It's going to, you know, things turn around, or the devil's just as real as God is. So you got to expect hard times. But sometimes I'm drained. I'm just depleted, you know, and I'm just like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. She's like, that's not true. You know, and sometimes I need to hear that. But I just been fighting. I've been fighting to stay positive. I had to go back to basics. I had to go back and put myself through my own program. I had to go check my identity, remind myself who I am and what I've already survived, and who I come from, you know. My mom used to tell me, God don't make no mistakes. My mom's in a wheelchair. She said, if I wasn't meant to be here, the person that I was, you know, like, why didn't God give her a son? She can't use her hands. She needed me. to help her do all kind of things, you know. So I've trusted God, and I've trusted my existence. Um, and like I said, I'm grateful. You know, I cry, I laugh, I go to church, I listen to trap music. Like all of that is part of me. It's me. I love me, and I had to go back to remind myself of who I am, my identity. That's one of the top things in my program. You know, the second is relationships. I had to re-examine. I'm sorry, no, it's not self-care. You know, I had to take care of myself, but relationships, I had to go through my relationships and find out, like, you know, who's in my life that, you know, are not pouring into me when I need it. And I got some good people in my life. People, you know, I love to eat. People took me to eat, send me cash apps. You know, I just been listening to God, like going against the grain, doing things that I wouldn't do. I posted a GoFundMe. Like, we don't do that, you know, but it's like who's we, and what makes you so better, or like, you know, like why are you exempt? But yeah, my program is goes to my workshop for uplifting you know, people who've been uplifting survivors, people who are victims of um, domestic violence, assault, people who just feel low, who have are struggling. My workshop is geared to uplift people, and I do that by sharing, you know, get in tune with your identity, take care of yourself, examine your relationships. You know, you might have to get a second job or go back to school, and then, you know, uplift somebody else, go back to your community and make some changes. So I had to just do the whole wheel. And I was looking for another job and hoping I could stay here. I took money out of my savings and continued to pay my rent till it got to the point where I just didn't have no more money, you know. And I can't I can't be I can't be controlled or be, you know, I don't want to be taken care of in a sense where out of need. Um, if if I'm with someone in a relationship, it has to be because that's what I want and that's who I want, and we have mutual understanding. It's not out of, you know, I'm in a bad situation and I need somebody to take care of me. Like, I've always taken care of myself. Um, but yeah, I try to find another job, and um, that didn't happen. You know, I just been pushing my program. I've been crossing my T's and dotting my I's and getting ready because something's gonna happen for me. And where I move next, like my next apartment and my next house, which I'm hoping is, you know, my goal is to get a house. I never want to be, I never want to be in this situation again, you know. But it is what it is. I'm not angry about it. You know, I was angry about it. I was very angry about it, and when I made that video in November, it was like I had something to prove. I had to prove that, you know, I wasn't down. That don't count me out. But it wasn't for me. It was to prove a point. This video is for me. This video is to say that I'm proud of myself. I don't feel like I'm losing. I feel like I had to go through that. You know, in the Bible it says it was good that I was afflicted. Had I not gone through, had I not been pushed, you know, I would have just been standing still. I probably wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. I wouldn't be pushing my program as hard as I am now. It would be on the back burner. I was 2 full-time jobs. I was good, but my I wasn't following God's plan, I guess. You know, this program has been in the works for years, since my son was small. You know, solutions to uplift communities and kids. I seen the hardships. I seen it. I seen people, you know, doing their best. I seen people struggling. Like, I tell people all the time, people are not out here stealing and selling drugs and doing this stuff for fun. Like, people are really out here surviving, you know? And I just felt like my survival was gonna be sharing the things I've seen to uplift others. I used to steal, I used to do, you know, I used to do stuff, but I never pushed the envelope too hard, you know? I knew if I was to really go to jail or really force it, that who would be there for my mom? Like, who would be there for my kids? Who would, all we ever had was us. You know, I didn't have anybody to fall back on. Nobody was coming to get me. Nobody was coming outside for me. So, the decisions I made was gonna be real decisions. It wasn't to play with. I knew that young. But yeah, this is just to say, you know, don't count yourself out. Don't let what you see other people doing or going through make you feel like you're not enough, or don't let your decisions that you make, you know, or that you want to make, don't be held back. Don't be afraid of your struggle. Don't be afraid of hard times, because hard times make you strong. And I'm strong. I'm stronger than I like to be sometimes. I'm about to go on this journey, and I know that I'm gonna win. It may not look like that, but I've been in situations where it looks bad, and God always takes. He always gets me out. And I'm not saying gets me out unscarred or unhurt, or, you know, but I always come back. I always come back stronger. So this is just some encouragement. most of the things I post on my page, I post to push myself further. If I'm not consistent with anything, I'm consistent with let me just give you a little part of my routine. This is my structure. This is my routine. And the first, like the biggest thing for me is having a higher power. I don't know who you call your higher power, Allah, Buddha, God, like the stars, the moon, something like, but you have to have something bigger than yourself, because there's times where I don't even know why God woke me up. Like, what do you want? I'm just done. And if He's waking me up, I believe that there's something for me to do. So, I would say you have to have a higher power. You have to have somebody, a mentor, somebody that you trust to hold you accountable, somebody that can tell you something that you respect, and maybe that person you really don't know. Like, when I say that to say, before I had my mentor, like, I had people in my life that I would just watch, my mom, even people who you don't want to be like, can help you be a better person, but you definitely need a routine. You need some structure, and you need some discipline. You need a schedule. You can't just do anything any time of the day, I mean, I don't know, you could do what you want, but for me, I needed structure, I needed routine, I needed discipline, because doing what I want when I want it didn't work for me. Sometimes I feel like doing it, and sometimes I don't, and I wouldn't. So, and I had different mentors throughout my life. I had different people who, we would, did you do this today? No, I didn't do it. Did you do this today? No, I didn't do it. And I was tired of saying I didn't do it. So, but you definitely need a plan, right? You need a plan. You need a step-by-step goal. How are you going to get to the plan? How are you going to get to the goal? What you going to do when you don't feel like getting up? Can you reach over and grab your phone and turn on a motivational video or something that's, gonna get you out the bed, that's gonna get you moving? I always say you need notebooks. For me, I have a planner, like what I'm gonna do, a to-do list. I have a journal. I don't journal as much as I like to, but I have a journal. I have a budget notebook. For the last few months, I haven't been using it, but I still budget on little sheets of paper. But normally I have a budget book, like, goes back years. I have a budget for years. And I'm talking about every single thing, I learned through programs and listening to other people that you need a vision board. What would you like to see for yourself? What kind of house? What kind of car? What kind of, environment? What kind of people? A list of affirmations, things that you say to yourself, mirror work, that you can look at you at your worst and still feel your best, and tell yourself things like, I'm confident, I'm smart, I'm attractive, I have something special to offer the world, I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. you have to have something that's pushing you forward. I don't know, therapy. I went to therapy for years, you know, and it's good to get things out to someone who doesn't know you, that can, you know, validate your feelings or tell you, you know, what you're feeling is normal. What you're going through is what you've experienced is not the end. It's okay. Um, but yeah, though that's, you know, I stretch. I work out. I guess sometimes I get on the treadmill a little bit and try to walk like a mile. But every day I do a stretch. This little like a 15-minute video. I meditate every morning. You know, I pray every morning. I pray every night. And I'm not saying no long drawn out prayer. My meditation is like 10 minutes, between 10 and 15 minutes. I do a guided meditation. My stretch is only like 15 to 20 minutes. It's not 20 minutes. It's 15 minutes. And to walk a mile on the treadmill is like 17 minutes. I break those things up because I don't know. I get better later, but I'm just sharing with you what I do. I hope it helps somebody. You know, I know a lot of people got it all together and they got it all figured out, but I don't. One thing I got figured out is God. One thing I got figured out is me. I'm a survivor, and I'm gonna keep surviving, and I'm gonna keep sharing sharing my process, so that you can see the highs and the lows. So that's it. I hope you have a good day. Thankful Thursday.